Hello, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so as you know, I'm a big fan of the Mackie srm450, especially the V1 versions. That's what this is right here. That's the Mackie srm450 V2. So basically, I bought this one first. I got this for $30 marketplace. It was very dirty. The grill was dented and all that, so I took it out. I painted it. So it looks a lot better now. Definitely worth the $30. So I've been here doing heavy testing today. I know this has not been done with a Mackie srm450. This test has never been done before. It's never been posted on YouTube. So that's why I wanted to make it for you guys. Because I'm a real fan of these speakers. So I've been doing some heavy testing. Obviously that's the Mackie srm450 V1, which had the V1 amp, the gray. And then I was thinking about passing like the components from the V1 to the srm450 V2, and so on and so forth. You know, like, so I've been doing testing. So I put the V1 amp on the srm450 V2, and it actually sounds exactly the same as it does with the Mackie srm450 V2 amplifier, which, whatever some people want to call it, V2, or you know, Chinese version versus the USA version or the Italian version. To me, honestly, I think Mackie, when they made these speakers, they did a fantastic job, because I did some heavy testing that has never been done before to my eyes, and I could not find the difference between the Chinese amp and the gray amp. To me, sound quality is the same, everything is the same. Now, right off the box, when you have the Mackie srm450 V1 speaker and you're comparing it to the V2, like out of the box sound, this one, the Mackie srm450 V1, is going to be a lot clearer. I mean, not a lot clearer, they're both clear, but it's going to be it's going to sound like a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother. It's going to sound more high-end like. And then so that's when the amp comes into play. Everything in the amp, Mackie did a great job. It sounds exactly the same. The only difference is when I transfer the amp to the V2 sound stayed the same. Nothing changed. And then I came into the conclusion. That the Mackie srm450 V2 woofer versus the Mackie srm450 V1 woofer, the only difference is that the V2, it has more bass. It sounds like a little bit more mids and a little bit like stronger SPL, and then this one sounds clearer. So that's where some people might have the misunderstanding at. They might be confused, thinking that the srm450 V2 is not as clear, and that's not the case. Because if you was to swap or buy a Mackie srm450 V1 woofer and transfer it over to the V2, it's gonna sound exactly the same. You're gonna have that high end, you know, that pressure sound that the Mackie srm450 V1 is known for. So to me, everything is the same. None of them peaked. I was able to get them to their full volumes. The volume knobs were exactly the same. 75% was the same on both. Like I said, it's just that if you buy a Mackie srm450 V1 woofer and you put it on the V2, it's gonna sound exactly the same as the V1. So the difference is in the woofers.